So let's get going. Thanks a lot, everyone, for coming. I hope to teach you a few things in the next 15-ish minutes about Pyth, Oracle, and the multi-chain impact of Oracle. I'm Mark. I'm a director of the Pyth Data Association, one of the contributors to the Pyth network. So Pyth network, a new paradigm. So this, I hope to have time to go over 3 points. First point will be a little story, try to frame how to think around Oracle and multi-chain world, and then go to the Pyth footprint on 60 chains, and finally what we've been cooking and what should get released soon. So it's the story of two identical brothers, Blake and Jake. They've been forever the same. Same face, same voice, same interest, same diploma, and same crypto DJ. Their parents, their friends, they cannot tell who's who. And one day they're like, we have to settle this for like once and for all. And they decide, all right, let's each build a DeFi app. And for sure, it will be a different type. And even if it's the same type of app, it'll be built different. So they go for a retreat, 1 week work, and they come back to each other and they're like, okay, what are you going to build? Blake starts, I want to build an Oracle-based protocol. And Jake is like, you must be kidding me. I want to do the same. But then they're like, okay, what your protocol going to offer? Crypto, real-world assets. They both want to offer 100x on all type of assets to their digits. And finally, we actually find the first difference in how they decide to build. Blake say, I'll use Chainlink for my Oracle. And if you not know, Oracle, as the name suggests, within Oracle-based protocol, it's almost the most paramount infrastructure. If it's wrong, you get liquidated, you get bad price, LPs get eaten. And Blake says, why did I choose Chainlink? You know, I opened DeFi Llama, I checked the Oracle page, and I saw #1 Chainlink, 30 billion in TVL secured. It's the standard. So I'll go with it. Meanwhile, Jake was, oh, I'm actually going to be powered by Pyth. I also went to DeFi Llama, but I went to a different page, the derivatives volume, and actually, most of it are using Pyth. And given that I want to build this, I'm going to start integrate Pyth and have this whole perps powered by Pyth. And this is where the actual differences between those two identical brothers comes in. So Blake, back to the Chainlink, goes on the website, get in touch, start integrating. And he wants to launch on Arbitrum, on Optimism, all these layer 2s, because he wants to have big distribution. And he starts on the website, read the docs, and be like, oh, those data streams look amazing. Let's start integrate this. And little by little, he discovered that as of today, it has, let's say, 10 to 20 price feeds supported on Arbitrum. And he's like, okay, cool. I'll just launch on Arbitrum first, and I'll see after. Meanwhile, Jake goes on the Pyth.network website, go in the docs, and sees 500 price feeds, all updating as fast as data streams, pretty much sub-second. And he's like, okay, it looks great. I have US stocks, Bitcoin ETFs, wide range of crypto, and it's fully permissionless to integrate. So start coding and actually launches not only on Arbitrum, but on 49 other EVM chains where the Pyth Oracle is deployed. And finally, when they launch on mainnet their app, there is one perpetual protocol that has, let's say, 150 markets, permissionlessly available on 50 chains, and you have Blake protocol live on one chain with only, let's say, 20 markets. So while Oracle pretty much do the same job, given how they're built and how you can use them, can not make or break, but further scale your protocol. So that's kind of the new paradigm Pyth we want to bring you with Pyth. So I hope with this little story, you get the gist of why it's important on how you expand, how you build your protocol so that it's scalable for this multi-chain world. Story is done. Maybe I have to improve the story for future occurrences, but I think it's a pretty standard and direct example for you to get the difference. And Jake's just chilling, powered by Pyth now. Back to Pyth overall, here more the stats page, and we'll see more on the multi-chain part. The other big idea of Pyth is not so much to be a generalized type infrastructure. The whole idea, and if you have to tell your parents about it, it's more like Spotify for financial data. We want people that own, create financial data to come to the Oracle network, contribute it, and use this as a new distribution channel. And as of today, we have about 100 data publishers going from very crypto-native, market makers, prop trading firms, exchanges, centralized and decentralized. But we'll also start getting banks, US stock exchange, like Cboe is a big name. I think last week we announced Amina or Nomura, this Japanese bank, a couple months ago. So very much idea of Pyth is this decentralized, self-sustainable data marketplace. Multi-chain world, so I mentioned Pyth available on 60 chains. The whole mantra of Pyth is a bit like we don't want to pick winners because one, it's hard to pick winners, and two, we want to enable people wherever they build to ship the best app they can. So this is, and I mean, you won't find or recognize a bunch of logos here, but pretty much from blockchains, publishers, DeFi apps, and even off-chain applications, the Pyth ecosystem is now very wide in less than 3 years. And if we go a bit more, let's say, on the growth from the Pyth network, so Pyth launched initially in 2021 on Solana, and only in end of 2022, it became, let's say, cross-chain available in pretty much in 2 years or so, 2.5 years, went from 1 to 60 plus chains available. And here, for example, Pyth growth. So we started from a very Solana-driven native Oracle to now securing apps on more than 50 chains and big ball endings like Zero Land, Ionic with like 250 million TVL. But where Pyth shines the most is, and back to this story, perpetual protocol, trading protocol. Because of the fastness of the data, the accuracy of it, but the product catalog. And I think the past 2 months, actually, May and June, perpetual protocol using Pyth have enabled more than 100 billion trading volume. And this is where Pyth shines. For example, Sin Futures on Blast, they've been doing, I think, for a full month, $1 billion traded every day. All this while permissionlessly integrated the Pyth Oracle and now can support 500 markets. And actually this morning on another panel, I had someone resharing a story that's very common with Pyth. With the permissionlessness of it, anyone can use it. You don't have to DM me or anyone else. You just read the doc, integrate, and it's built as a pay-as-you-go model. So for the Oracle, that's why also we can be very scalable. In this morning, pretty much the story was, I discovered a year after that this specific perpetual protocol was using Pyth. And this is how it should be, pretty much. And just here, so part of this multi-chain world, so you might not see a bunch of names, but you see the bottom is going to be the EVM, and we're also available on Cosmos and Move chains. But pretty much the whole power of Pyth is once deployed, you get the same wide-ranging catalog permissionlessly available to you. And again, not wanting to pick winners, pretty much it just shows we're like on 60 chains, and usually like all these chains that have the biggest bar are often chains Oracle-less. And so most of DeFi rely on Pyth on a bunch of chains. And so back was TVS, so more like the Aave ball lending type of protocol. But you can see here on the trading volume, so this is for the perpetual protocols on all these chains, the market share of Pyth is way better. And on many chains, there is no competition versus Pyth. And just we'll do a back and forth to see the difference. Anytime an app that needs or that doesn't need that much latency or isn't latency sensitive, Pyth still provide benefits, but less differentiated. For trading, it's a different story. So that's the Pyth multi-chain footprint. And I'll just finish on just a little drive back or onto memory lane and after what's going to come next. So Pyth started more than 3 years ago, Solana native, back then push Oracle. So pretty much sending price update at every blocks. It was easy to use for apps, but it was quite expensive for the Oracle network. So we had to come back to the drawing board and come with something more scalable, better for applications. And so in 2022, we forked Solana, created an app chain, we call it PythNet. It's pretty much just where all the Oracle operations happen. The price inputs are sent there, the aggregation is done there. We use then wormhole tech to observe what happens on this chain. They create proofs, and this becomes permissionlessly available and verifiable on all the chains. And so from end of 22 till now, it was very much blockchain expansion, initially EVM for us, because coming from Solana, you have to make your footprint on EVM first. And I think our first integration on EVM was Synthetix for their V2 on Optimism. And since they must have done close to 100, maybe less, 80 billion in trading volume, they now have 75 markets. It's like 15x what they had with their V1 and Chainlink. Fees are like 5x cheaper. So very great growth story, and are now live on Arbitrum, Base, Optimism, and I think that's it for now. But pretty much this first SVM chain was very beneficial for us. For the Oracle network, no gas fees to pay, and that permissioned environment make it very optimized and very performant. Came on end of last year, we finally launched a token, governance token for the Pyth DAO. So now, for example, you can stake your token and just like have a say in what the network should do and how it evolves. And for example, one thing, and it will be also on the next slide, but the DAO will be in charge of deciding the fees. So being a pool Oracle, whenever someone requests a price update, you have to pay a fee to the Oracle contract. And so the DAO will be in charge to decide, okay, we should charge 1 cent here, 10 cents there. And the whole idea is to kickstart this like self-sustainable data marketplace. And same again, once you generate fees, it will be up to the DAO to decide how to allocate those to the data publishers, DAO treasury, yield on stakers, like up to the DAO to decide. While till now is very much focusing on DeFi, end of last year, we wanted to expand a bit test the waters for new protocols, new ideas where we got a lot of requests. And one was on-chain randomness. So again, you already have a bunch of existing solutions, Chainlink VRF, API 3, Quantum RNG, and a few others. And even some chains have native randomness. But pretty much, as for the price feeds, we wanted to come up with a very differentiated design that, again, focuses a lot on speed to offer, like, or at least enable devs to ship like very much web to feel, gaming, NFTs, minting, etc. And overall, we don't speak about it enough, but it's been pretty successful so far, mostly on Blast, with all these gold points and whatever. I think we've had seen north of 30K daily requests, which is like more than all the other VRF solution pretty much ever. So this is great while being a very nascent product. And now, for example, if you've been farming Infinex on Base, you open crates, you get rewards. All those are powered by Pyth Entropy, and it's been doing about 10K on-chain on-chain randomness requests a day, which is quite scalable and quite good performance for like our liking. And for example, right now, so I mentioned token launched, the DAO decide everything. That means also all the alpha is now on forum.pyth.network. Anything that will significantly change the Oracle will go through this. So I mentioned deciding of fees. And for example, we had a conversation, a discussion a couple months ago. A protocol that used Pyth on BNB wanted Pyth to expand to OP-BNB. So we came to the DAO, and pretty much the conversation, the discussion settled on all right, let's expand to OPBNB, but let's have fees so that the DAO start making decent revenue. And overall, through like open public discussion, I think it got settled at about 5 cents per fee of fees per update. And the user is happy, DAO is happy, deployment proceeded, and now the app is about to go live. So on-chain fees will be a big discussion or focus in the next years, because whole idea is this flywheel effect of data publishers making a buck out of their data, but also start to attract like new publishers with this potential extra revenue they can generate. And lastly, secured price feeds, ongoing discussion. It's called the community initiative proposal or pool. And pretty much the idea is to have some kind of insurance in case the oracle fail, wrong prices, etc. This is being discussed in the forum. I won't share, and I'm late already, all the deeds, but go on forum.pyth.network. Thanks a lot.